Welcome back everyone. Today is my 1-year wedding anniversary, so in honor of that I'll show you my wedding dress and tell you a little bit about it and how it came to be, because I know that people that would like a themed wedding sometimes have trouble finding the right dress. Let me start off by saying that we had fairly early on decided that we wanted a themed wedding. Now we are reenactors, so we wanted something medieval themed, but to make it a bit easier on ourselves and also on the guests, we decided we would have a fantasy medieval themed wedding. That gave a little bit more room for interpretation, and it made it also easier on finding a dress, because I knew I wouldn't have been able to find something that was completely authentic looking, and it's also not the thing I wanted. I wanted a corseted bodice because it shows up my curves a bit better. But by choosing a theme like that, I did set myself quite a challenge in regard to the dress, and also in regards to the whole decoration scheme and all that. I never regretted picking this theme, and I was so amazed that almost all the guests also came dressed up, even though we just asked them to add something to the outfit that might sort of be in keeping with the theme. Almost everyone was dressed up from head to toe, and it just made for such an amazing picture. We got actually wet in the castle, and in the afternoon we went and did archery, which was fun and occupied the guests. Then in the evening we had a meal in our back garden and a party with sort of medieval themed music. I did actually go and try on a couple of dresses in ordinary wedding shops, and I'm happy I actually did that, even though I knew I probably wouldn't find what I was looking for. It did give me a better idea of what I wanted and what looked good on me. So what I learned from trying on these dresses is that I definitely wanted a dress that had a sweetheart shape and that had a pleated skirt, but a pleated skirt where the pleats were not out like this, but more in a simple A-line. Also, I learned that I would actually want a separate bodice or corset type bodice and a skirt. It seems to be the fashion to have a wedding dress without sleeves. I didn't want a dress without sleeves because I wanted my upper arms to be covered, and I must say that even though I had a fairly substantial budget for my wedding dress, because I did save up for it because I really wanted something special, I was a bit disappointed finding that most wedding shops only sell dresses that are made of polyester, and you have to be careful because they will call it satin, which in fairness it is a satin weave, but it doesn't automatically mean that a satin is also a silk satin. I was a bit disappointed that you can easily pay a couple of €1,000 for a wedding dress that is made out of polyester, and that's something as a textile conservator I just couldn't do. I really wanted a silk dress. I didn't want a completely white wedding dress to start with because that just does not suit my personality, and I really do like blues and purples, so yeah, I ended up with a white with blurple, as I call it, wedding dress. So what I ended up doing is trying to look for a seamstress. I had a look in the Netherlands, obviously, because, well, that's where I live, but I did not find anyone that sort of had a similar taste or aesthetic to me. Eventually I came across Frock Follies on Etsy. I actually linked through to Frock Follies' normal website and had a look around there, and when I found that website I knew that this is what I wanted. But at this stage we were about 6 to 7 months away from my wedding, so I knew that time was getting a bit tight to get something made. But I contacted Jill Linley, and she was kind enough to fit me in, which did mean I had to fly over to England a couple of times. I was lucky because KLM had just started flying from Schiphol to Manston Airport, and that gave me a fairly quick route to Kent, where Frock Follies is located. I went over twice. I could have done 3 times. The custom option on her website allows you to have 3 fittings. But obviously because I was coming from abroad that would have been quite dear. I actually did some drawings that I took to her and she took them to heart. She did have a couple of dresses that looked like it on the website, but I sort of combined a bunch of them to something that I wanted in the colour scheme that I liked. This is my wedding dress. It has a sort of, like I said, corseted bodice. It has boning in it. And this is the skirt. The bodice has steel boning in it, which is nice because it will give you that extra support. And I did not have to wear a bra under it. There was absolutely no need for it. This is the back of the wedding dress. You can see it's laced like a normal corset bodice. The skirt is a blue and purple shot Dupioni silk. This is the skirt from up close. As you can see, she did a wonderful job with these pleats here, making it not too bulky over my hips, but still a wonderfully full kind of skirt. This is the bodice from up close. It has this blue silk piping and it has a lovely silk damask. The sweetheart shape of the neckline sort of extends to the shoulders and they just come half of the shoulders. And it had these flowing see-through sleeves that are very, very long. But that gives us sort of that medieval feel. And this is the bodice lying flat seam from the back. As you can see, it cannot even lie completely flat because it's just so curved around the hips here and there. It has steel bones in it, spring steel bones on these seams and flat steel bones here at the back around the grommets. And I had to be laced into it in the morning. Actually, in the second fitting I came in and I had not even tried to lose weight, but I had. So it actually closed completely on me, even though it was supposed to be open like about that much. The inside is lined with a very smooth, thin silk, hand stitched to the edges. Here you can see Jill Lindley's tag and the modesty panel inside. I wore the dress with my hair light pink on top, going into a deeper pink and a sort of blurple at the bottom, matching my skirt. I wore hair extensions. I had them, I curled them, and I wore the flower crown and just looped a little bit of my hair over the flower crown. I'll include some pictures at the end of this video so you can actually see the dress on me. As for makeup, my best friend did my makeup for me, and it was copper tints, fairly similar to what I'm wearing right now. I had the entire wedding sort of in keeping with this colour scheme of the blues and the white. If you want to see more pictures, my wedding got featured on Offbeat Bride, so you can search for it there. I realise it can be quite hard to find a dress for your theme wedding, so yeah, maybe this is an option. I'm quite happy with this dress that Jill Lindley made for me. It's not something I could have bought in a shop, and I know for this price that I eventually paid, even with flying over to England twice, I probably would not have been able to buy a silk dress in an ordinary shop. So in that regard, she did an amazing job. I really hope you enjoyed this little show and tell of my wedding dress, and I should probably go spend some time with my husband now. If you also had a very unusual wedding dress or trouble getting an unusual wedding dress, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you next week. Bye everyone!